2025 CR 18, State of Kansas versus Chelsea Wright Wilson. County Attorney Jill Gillette for the state, and you are Chelsea Wright Wilson, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Miss Wilson, in count one, you're charged with interference with law enforcement. The state is alleging that on February 9th of 2025 in Greenwood County, Kansas, you did intentionally and knowingly provide false information intending to influence, impede, or obstruct an officer's duty by telling the officer that another person was the driver of a vehicle involved in an accident when apparently you were the driver. That's the allegation. This is filed as a Class A non-person misdemeanor. It is an adult charge with penalties of up to $2,500 in fines and penalties of up to 1 year sentence in the Greenwood County Jail where you are right now. In count two, you're accused of on that same day, February 9, 2025, driving an automobile in Greenwood County at a time when you had no driver's license. So this is a Class B misdemeanor. If you were to be convicted, you could pay another fine up to $1,000. That'd be a total of $3,500 for these two offenses. And the sentence could include another 6 months in jail, added to the first, which could be up to 18 months in jail. In count three, you're charged with duty of a driver after an accident. Now, this is charged under 1604 as an infraction, but I know that's not a valid charge. I just went over this with another young lady. It's a cross-reference to two other statutes, 1602 and 1605. Depending on the type of accident and the type of damage and the amount of damage, this would be, and whether any people were injured, this would be at least an unclassified misdemeanor, whereby the penalties would be up to 30 days in jail or $500 fine. But it could be up to a level 5 person felony, where you could spend 31 months up to 136 months in the adult prison, and you could pay a fine up to $300,000, depending again on what was damaged, how much damage, who, if anyone, was damaged in the injury to that person. Even yourself could be included in that. My suspicions are that it is probably either the unclassified or the Class A misdemeanor, depending on the amount of damage involved, whether it was to your automobile, to property, a ditch, a field, but we'll know more on that later. At this time, do you intend to hire an attorney, apply for court appointed, or represent yourself?
I applied for a court appointed attorney.
Okay, let me look at that. That has been given to me. What is Windsor?
It's I work in healthcare, so I take care of an old man with dementia.
Okay. So it's like a home health care? Okay, say no more. Is it Windsor or Winson? Because your last letter looks like it could be an R or an N.
It's Windsor.
Okay, and is the address you put on here his address, or is that the business address? And don't say it, just tell me yes or no, or just tell me if it's business or his address.
His.
Okay, and then you live not very far from him, apparently?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this Dixie lives with you?
Yeah.
And you both live with her dad?
Yeah.
It says you don't own an automobile. Is that right?
Well, I didn't know if I was supposed to put that on there or not.
It's just simply, do you own a vehicle or not?
Yeah.
What do you own?
2010 Chevy Malibu silver.
Was that involved in this accident allegedly?
Yeah.
It's still workable, still runs?
No, I think it's probably totaled.
Okay. All right, so I can see why you wondered whether you put that on there or not.
Yeah, I didn't start.
Okay, so you have a wrecked vehicle.
It was towed, Your Honor.
Okay.
I
You
did
don't
have
know if you have money or cash in savings, checking, or other funds?
Yes, I just don't know how much because I got paid today through direct deposit.
Where would that money go? To checking?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a checking account. Do you have any other accounts, savings? Okay. Do you pay anything to these folks for rent?
Normally I just help with like food and stuff.
Okay. Now, this son that you have, he's not living with you, is he?
No, he's living with his dad.
But you are paying some support for him? How much per month do you pay for him?
I don't pay like child support, but I like buy his like diapers and wipes and formula. Like I help provide.
Okay. All right, I am going to find that you do qualify for court-appointed attorney. And I will appoint the attorney Richard Paul. Have you ever worked with Richard Paul?
Yes, I love him.
Okay. So I'm going to reappoint Richard Paul. And do you need his number again? I imagine the jail can give it to you.
Okay.
You can give it to Mr. Paul's number to her deputy?
Yes,
Okay.
we'll get it for her.
And when is her court date, Missy? Do you want to try that on the 28th?
No, this is a misdemeanor.
Oh.
So let's put it on March 4th at 3:30.
All right, you and Mr. Paul need to be back here by Zoom, or you can come to the courthouse. March 4th at, you said when, 9?
3:30?
3:30, boy, I didn't hear that close. March 4th at 3:30 is your next court date. Now, as far as bond,
Look, Judge Webster, I'll do anything.
well, hang on, what, I had that written down, what your bond was set for, but I've misplaced it. Deputy, remind me, I'm sorry, what that bond was.
It's a $10,000.
10,000 cash or surety. And you're on probation with Jessica Morgan, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, Ms. Wilson, I think, or Ms. Gillette, I think we both know more about Ms. Wright Wilson than most folks that come through here. I don't know if that looks like it's probably a scheduled bond. I don't know much about the circumstances. What would your recommendation be for bond?
I just know she has a habit of running away. So
I'm not. Look, I promise I will do anything. I will come in every week. I don't care what it
Hang
is. I
on,
just want
hang
to see my
on,
baby.
hang on.
Judge, I would ask for I'd ask for 1,500. I will recommend an OR if you put an ankle monitor on her so that she can use the money to do the ankle monitor versus paying it to a bondsman for just the bond. Because I think that way we'll know where she's at.
You know, we know she's got ties, deep ties at some point to Oklahoma. All right, Miss Wright Wilson, even though you have those ties in Oklahoma, you seem to have been staying around Kansas and lately around Eureka, though we've had problems with you running from Eureka. So
I've been trying to get an apartment here.
I'm gonna go out on the same limb that Miss Gillette is and give you an OR bond.
Thank you so much.
Well, show me that you mean it by doing,
I swear I will.
okay? If you really appreciate the opportunity, let's see the actions support it. You must have an ankle monitor on before you leave.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want that ankle monitor to basically show me that you're staying in Eureka, you're staying close to your work, which is fortunately close to your home. But I don't-
I will not leave this town.
All right, I think that's a fair order as a
Thank
condition.
you so much for giving me this like leap of faith. I appreciate it so much.
I had contemplated ordering that you have no contact with this Miss Ledford, but I understand you live with her. So I'm not gonna do that. That may be one of the more stable places for you. Miss Gillette, do you have any reason you don't think they should be together other than the circumstances in front of me?
No.
Okay.
What dollar number did you put on that OR, Judge? I
I
don't,
went with your recommendation of 1,500 OR. One condition of your probation is that, or of your bond, is that you contact your probation officer, Jessica Morgan. You're to check in with her as soon as you're released.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So you have to have the ankle monitor set up before you're released and on when you're released, and then you have to contact Miss Morgan immediately.
Okay.
All right. Don't commit any violations of the law. Make sure you're in compliance with your existing probation.
Oh Lord.
Make sure you contact your attorney and make sure you're back here March 4th at 3:30.
Okay.
Your attorney.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you
Stay out
so
of
much.
trouble, and you're excused at this time.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.